people asking you, how much do you risk per trade? For me, that question is a little bit stupid, because it's like the same as when I ask you, with which gear do you drive your car? When I talk with a lot of people, they lose their accounts, let's say they lose 5 accounts, they buy new challenges and try to over leverage them to just get to that point where they lose everything, but they don't know the truth. Like, psychology is the biggest component, it's the biggest part in trading, because you are taking actions. How? With your fingers. But your fingers are connected with your mind.
Yeah.
So basically, it's you.
So how did you do that?
To be honest, you just need...
Welcome, Alpha Capital Group. Another wonderful interview ahead. We have got Gigi with us, which is Greek and Grecko.
Yes.
And I'm going to hand over to him straight away to tell us all about his international nicknames. Away you go, sir.
Hello, what's up, man? Nice to be here. Nice to be here.
Pleasure to have you.
Thanks.
So do you want to start off just telling me how you got into trading in the first instance? Did you have any other jobs, or did you go to university or anything like that?
So basically, I am a student. I study economics, and trading I started 2022 March. So I'm kind of still a fresh trader. We can say like a beginner still. It's like
how old are you?
2 years. 25.
Okay.
I started when I was 23. The reason why I started was because as a student you don't have money, you have struggle, you want more money, and yeah, like I was trying a lot of different business like e-commerce and affiliate shops and stuff, but it didn't never work out, and then I found trading through YouTube.
Economics corner, isn't it? Pareto, 80-20. And you've seen the alpha 80% payout and you're in.
I saw it and I was like, when I can do it, or if I do it, my life will change. And then I was okay, all into trading. It makes sense, you know. I mean, there's no scam or whatever. If you trade well, you can pull out the money,
Physically get the money, yeah.
And that's it. So that was the main reason.
So where are you doing this economics degree?
Where? In Germany. Like
Okay.
I have my city nearly in the city, and there I did it. Yeah.
So so I'm gonna rewind you. So when you're telling me all about you, where do you come from, and where are you studying, and blah blah blah.
So yeah, I'm from Germany. My roots Greek, Turkish.
Okay.
But mainly Turkish, and I'm born in Germany. So kind of we can say like I'm a German guy, and yeah.
You can play for the German national team.
One day.
Okay, and you're in, where did you say? Dresden, was it?
Where?
Where are you doing the
Near
degree?
Frankfurt.
Near Frankfurt. Okay.
Yeah.
And what made you go for economics?
Basically, I had like before you study, we are going in Germany. It's called Abitur. It's like 3 years of school, and there we needed to pick like it's either economics or IT, you know, like technology and stuff. And I was like, economics is good because I was always selling stuff online, you know, shoes reselling and
Good, you got
AirPods reselling. Yeah,
idea.
I always had like the business mind since I was 15, and yeah, now I'm trading like on the gold markets.
We'll come on to that. So when you're doing this degree, what made you actually start the trading? What did you first see?
I had like a few friends, and we all wanted like to escape the matrix, and now like to escape the 9 to 5 work. Yeah, because it's like really draining energy when you're like working 40 hours for, let's say, 3K a month.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's like for the average human, it's okay, but for me, it was a big problem because I was always thinking like ahead, like in 10 years, 20 years, and I was like, I can't do that. I will get like mentally sick when I do it like for 20 years, 30 years. So I was okay. Online business for sure, but what? And then I was okay. I started e-commerce, but then you see like you're buying products, you're selling products, you get the problems with customers, with the delivery, people refund, and it was like too much headache.
And where to store it all as well.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, trading. Where do you have headache on trading? When you lose money, but that's it. So basically, in trading, you have like more into your own hands, like. You are responsible to your own outcome. Like, of course, on e-commerce too, but there are very, very different variables that can mess up with your result. But in trading, it's only you versus the market. And it was like, this makes sense on the long term, and I'm gonna go all in. And I was really sure back then, even when I was broke and never ever traded anything, I was sure I will do it because it makes sense on the long run. It makes sense.
Wow, that's good. Yeah, to have that sense of belief and forward thinking, absolutely brilliant. So did you ever consider trying to use your own money? Did you have any money to trade or not?
I'm only trading prop firms right now because I started with prop firms and now I'm still on prop firms.
So you went straight to it.
Yeah, and people are asking me also like, why never you trade with your own money? And I'm like, maybe one day when all the prop firms are gone, which I don't think will ever happen. So I will stick with prop firms until who knows.
Well, it's a fantastic way of not having to use that capital, isn't it? And,
Exactly.
Get that fantastic gearing. So you've started off your economics pushed you towards any particular products per se? I know I've heard you rumor that you like gold. Is that something that's popped up from your studies?
To be honest, like all the economic studying like was empty air for me. Like
Right.
literally, I learned. If you ask me what did you learn, I learned absolutely nothing from it. I studied for 3 years. All
Did
of
you
the
finish
things,
it?
No, I'm on
Okay.
my last year,
Right.
but now because I will probably move out, I gonna cut and throw it away. But yeah, some people say it's not a good choice, but for me, it's like, what do I do when I have the degree? Nothing. Like, I don't want to work in the office. Yeah, people will say, but it's still good to have something. But I still think it's not good because I will never see myself anywhere else. Like, I will always do my own thing. And for your own thing, you don't need something. And now, when you have like your own responsibility about life, about your life choices, you will find always a way. Like, I will never. I have no zero anxiety, zero doubts about what will happen if. I know it will happen.
You're gonna make this
Yeah, I know it.
So is this now your way of life then? Are you calling yourself a professional trader?
To be honest, I call myself still a learner. Like, we are always learning from the markets. We are lifetime students of life,
Yeah.
lifetime students of the markets. Like, markets are changing, life is changing.
It's dynamic.
So yeah, so the most important thing is to have like the dynamic way of learning. To always say, hey, I can learn more than I know yesterday. And I mean that's true. You can never know
That's
everything.
it. It's a weakness when you think that you do know it all, isn't it? You've got to.
Yeah, you will keep your.
Yeah. So what attracted you to trading in gold then, or do you trade other products?
Funny story. Back then, in my beginning years, like in my first few months, I swear I never wanted to touch gold again because I blew so many challenges on gold when I started first because gold was moving crazy, the volatility was insane, and I can't like catch up to this. I was always like, damn, stop loss hit, and then you're going again, stop loss, and I was like, okay, maybe gold is the problem. But then with the knowledge and with the experience, I learned like, I observed my own mistakes, and therefore I knew where my thinking struggles came from, and then I tried to fix them like in the last few months and years, and now I love gold and I'm only trading gold. to be
Wow.
honest.
So you say, can we just touch on what you start with there? You burned through a number of accounts. How long did it take you to master profitability?
So I got my first payout after 3 months. I mean, it's
That's quite good.
when you hear like people that say like I never got the payout for 2 years, and I'm like, what? Like in 3 months I got my payout and it was huge. It was a 10K payout.
Wow.
So and I was like, wow, I am the king now. I know how to trade. I am the master of the markets.
Boom.
And then boom. After that payout, I lost for 7 months in a row. Like until end of 2022, I lost all the 10K, I lost my life savings, I lost all the income I got from my part-time jobs. So I was basically at November, October, December 2022 rock bottom. It was my worst life phase in my whole
And
life.
that is because that's been a bad year for gold, hasn't it? You've had interest rates and
It was insane. Like
yeah, that's properly bottomed out that October, didn't it? Or so,
yeah, and I bottomed out in my life.
Oh, no. So that's really interesting. So I want to know about you're a very upbeat guy. What was your psychology like when all that was happening?
Yeah, like when it happened, it was a hard time because first of all, I don't have any friends to trade. I don't have a bigger brother who can help me. I have no one who could understand the pain and the struggle you go as a trader.
It's lonely,
because
isn't it?
it's a unique business. You get unique problems like nobody can understand because you're saying like I made 10K and then I lost 15K. Nobody can really understand it when you're like working for 2K a month.
Yeah.
Like the pain is like insane.
They almost think that you're mad and you're doing it
like-
recklessly, but you're not.
And with time, I learned like there is only one way, and it is through the problem. You can't go like around the problem. You need to go through it. So basically, I need to go deep inside of me and learn and understand what did I do wrong, where was my psychology errors, like why did I overtrade, why did I over leverage, why did I do the same mistake 10 times in a row and stuff like that. And
So how
with
did you do that?
thinking, to be honest, you just need your room, a chair,
Face yourself.
and yeah, your own mind. Like, how often did you sit in your bed or on your chair for like 1 hour straight with no phone, no music, nothing, just you sitting there and just thinking, closing your eyes and just brainstorming. I never saw
Powerful.
that, and nobody teach me that, but I teach it to myself. So basically, that was the secret to really understand things in depth.
Love it. Can you teach me? No, and this is something that comes from a lot of people. They've had struggles to start with. They've found a way, but all of them, like you've just said, is owning themselves, admitting that you are the guy responsible for everything. So, did you go through a journaling process to do that? Did you do back testing as well, or was it just all? Did you have the strategy in place already? It was just how you were using it.
So how I learned when I started was I just watched random YouTube videos all the time. 2022, every day, basically every night I watched, because on daytime I didn't want to waste my time. But on nights I learned, like from, let's say 10 p.m. until 3 a.m. like always, like 3, 4, 5 hours. I just watched unlimited YouTube videos, and I make notes. I have like still the book in my room. I have like notes. I always wrote down, okay, this is the rule. If this happens, do that. Don't trade too much or don't risk too much. When you have no money, don't hire the risk and all that stuff. And yeah, it led like step by step by step, and like it's like how a plant grows. Like your own mind, your own perception and perspective about all the things grow, and
Nurtures and
yeah, and of course backtesting was a big thing. But what I did was forward testing. I did always forward testing. So basically, you went back to a chart, and then you just like per click you create the candle, and then you could like simulate the live trading. That was what I did every time, all the time, and now my brain somehow adapted to like all the market movements and price actions.
Yeah, and it's something everyone has to go through, isn't it? It's very difficult to trade without knowing what a full cycle looks like, or you've certainly got to see ups and downs just to know whether your psychology will change and how you change your do you change your strategy? Do you have a different strategy for a different market? Or?
To be honest, when people asking me like what's a strategy, I can't define it. When I need to define it, I would say I just trade price action. People are asking me like, do it trade support resistance or supply demand or smart money, and I'm saying, bro, you don't combine everything. I'm combining everything, because it's the same like when you're asking like someone, what are you? And the right answer is I'm a human. But people say I'm German, I'm Russian, I'm Turkish, and they separate themselves.
Yeah.
And I say like, why do you separate different perspectives of way of trading? And I was like, I'm trading price action. Supply and demand is a part of it. Fibonacci is a part of it. Supply, demand, trend lines, everything is a combined part in my brain.
I say sentiment is what you're looking for, and that's what people try and make out is that someone's doing something wrong. Every view is right in a microsecond, but at certain points you've got some of the players are in control, and it's getting a feel, isn't it, a sense of who it is.
Exactly.
Everyone's doing their different strategies, but at some point someone's in control, and it's recognizing that, or getting used to recognizing who's in charge. I was saying to someone earlier, it's like and I advise it sometimes, don't trade, just watch the markets, and rather than having to draw lines, you'll see where the support and resistance is. Maybe have a small lot, have a micro lot on, just so that you can see the P&L out, and that gives you a real sense. It's good to be able to have that feeling of understanding the pulse of a market.
Yeah,
which is I think what you do.
I always say it like the market is like a heartbeat.
Yeah,
it's a heartbeat, and your job is like as a doctor to understand where is the error,
when it's going too fast,
where can the heartbeat, where does it change, and when you know it or when you see it or spot it, you can position yourself and say, okay, at that position I'm gonna go long or I'm gonna go short. But I see like the biggest problem for me when I see like how other people are trading, or let's say the unprofitable traders, they try to like copy and paste trading. You know, they say like, no, I will just make this copy and paste trading. When this happens, I will always do this. But for me, the market is always different. Yeah, the dynamics change, the situation change. Let's say the fundamentals, the macroeconomics change. So our job is to always adapt to the things. But people think it's a game like where you just like copy and paste and then that's it, and you print money. But
Do you think it's because you did study economics that you're one of the few people I've heard actually say the dirty word macroeconomics? So, what do you think? There's a combination of things out there that make up the market.
yeah, so I think you should have the trading skill for sure, but you should implement or mix it like sometimes. It depends for sure what you're trading, but I am trading gold, and gold is like big international. I mean, gold is like, yeah. And therefore, for sure, macroeconomics will affect it. And when you know it, and when you like, for example, learn what's happening around the world, you can position your overall bias, let's say, to bullish or bearish. And then you can go deeper, and let's say in 50-minute charts. So I'm a scalper, but then you can still implement the things. Because sometimes some trades go for hours.
Yeah, so you know, I always describe it, the classic quote, you know what would you, and don't just name the trees. It's like, and that's pretty much like, the chart might be saying something, but it might be something that just whips, and you're expecting it to be the other way.
Yeah.
It's going to hurt. It's scary. Okay, so where are you on your journey of where you want to be then? You've qualified. Do you have tons of accounts, or do you just have one that you trade off all the time?
No, I have tons of accounts. I like to separate all accounts. It's like when you play a game, you don't want to just have one, let's say, life or one HP, the health point.
Yeah.
I like to have now multiple different lives, so you can try different things. On some accounts, I trade very slow, for example, 0.2% risk.
So
on the
still in
prop firms.
gold, but different strategy.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm slowing down. I see trading also like driving a car. You have multiple gears, and people are asking, for example, when people are asking you, how much do you risk per trade? For me, that question is a little bit stupid, because it's like the same as when I ask you, hey, how much, with which gear do you drive your car? You can say, bro, what's wrong with you?
I know, I've got an open road.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go
I
for
need
it.
gear 1 to 6 or gear 1 to 8. I need all the gears. It depends on how fast or how slow you go. And it's the same with trading. Like, how much do you want to risk? How much, I don't know, do you want to have a headache? For example, when you risk 20K, you will still have like a little bit adrenaline,
Yeah.
Or when you risk like 1K or $500, it's like you're cool with it. You can lose 10 trades in a row. It doesn't matter. And that's the way how I see it. Like, I am in the position where I have like right now multiple accounts, multiple different risks. On one account I'm risking 0.2, as I said. On another account I'm risking 4%. And then there are people on the community, they say, oh my god, he's crazy, he's a risky trader, he risks 4%. And I'm like, bro, when you have 20 accounts and you risk on a few 4%, that's a very good risk management overall. Yeah, but I have a feeling people don't understand this.
How do you keep, and let's try and help them, how do you keep all those different strategies separate in your mind? Or do you find one tries to overtake you? Or how do you keep that discipline to keep those accounts separate?
It's I think it's deep rooted in myself. So I know, for example, when you wake up and you have a bad day, but you still want to trade, then I'm just picking the smaller accounts where I can make like $100, $50, $200. But when I'm on a good mood, high energy, I'm feeling like very fit mentally, I will pick the high risky accounts, and then let's go. No.
So how did you get to this stage? I'm really interested in this. So you started off and you're enjoying it. You want to be a trader. You're doing the journey. Nothing's going to stop you.
Yeah.
What made you have multi-strategies?
So I think it's the same with the way of living. You can't plan like what you will do tomorrow, in a week, in a year. Like there is always like this variable of unknownness, of randomness. You don't know what will happen tomorrow or in a week. And the same was in trading. So I was just focusing on today. When you try to focus on today and you do it every day, you will have a beautiful life, because every day is like with full focus, But when your mind wanders and you're thinking about what can happen in 2 weeks or what happened 1 month ago, then you are not living in the moment. And when you're not living in the moment, you will like your decision making will be affected badly. So I understand this like way before that, and I was just going with the flow. And flow means just look at today, Grecko. Just don't do big mistakes today, and think the same thing tomorrow and the next day and the next week. And so basically I stacked up a few more accounts, got more payouts, and now I'm still growing.
But within that, what's got you to the different strategies per account then?
That come with a lot of mistakes, because without mistakes you can't learn.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Love
without pain there is no wisdom. So you need to go through a lot of pain to gain a lot of wisdom. And then when you have this wisdom and you use it properly, and you use it correctly, you will find always new ways in life or new ways in this business. And I was hey, I can't just trade 1% per risk forever. First of all, it's boring. Second of all, I can't like scale up fast. So I was thinking, okay.
But you're getting your success from that initial scaling and
exactly.
But you want to go more.
And the slow accounts just give me the safety net.
And you keep those going.
Yeah. You have a safety net. You have a highway road there, so you can drive both roads as you wish or as you want. Like I don't trade every account.
Because I can just feel people going, "This guy's crazy." Well, like he's telling me that I've got to be the same guy every day, and yet he's doing everything all at once. But it's very clever because you've got, let's say you've got 10 little pockets, haven't you? You've got 10 little accounts.
And that's the problem with social media. Right? When you post, you can't like post 20 posts at one day. So basically, for sure, you're posting like the biggest stuff.
Yeah.
And then people are thinking like, oh no, this guy, he's only over risking or he's only over leveraging, but they don't know the truth. Like I am good. I am totally good, and my risk management is bulletproof.
You're basically running a portfolio with risk, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's bulletproof. Like imagine you have 20 accounts, 10 accounts, you play really safe. It's like free money all the time because it's safe. You can't lose accounts. Then you have 5 medium risk accounts, 1 to 2%, and then you have 5 accounts like your jackpot accounts. And now where you're going like all in.
And does this affect your psychology though? Do you love your risky account more than your boring account?
Yeah, for sure. I love my risky accounts more, but they're also gone.
But it doesn't put you off. It doesn't go right. I'm absolutely nailing these risky trades. I'm changing. You're keeping everything going. You're still spinning all the other plates.
So I think if we should approach trading more like a game, but like a serious game, you will first of all get more ideas of how you can change things, or how you can build up your, let's say, inventory, your equipment.
Yeah.
And then you can just play by your own set rules and nothing can happen to you, because
so you're going through the game, you're collecting all the different tools
and
guns, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. Like you have a sniper rifle, you have a pistol, you have a shotgun, pump gun, whatever. But when I talk with a lot of people, they it seems like they don't understand the way how I approach the markets, because for me it's really chill right now. It's really chill. But then you see people, they lose their accounts. Let's say they lose 5 accounts, then they buy new challenges and try to over leverage them to just get to that point where they lose everything. And I'm like, bro, that's the wrong approach. Start small, big build. After you have a big, let's say, portfolio, then you can try to play games like these accounts I play with medium risk, slow risk, and then
this is really good.
It flows.
This is one of the how to describe this. This makes sense to me because having come from the real world of trading, as opposed to simulated environment we're in, from some really clever people that I've worked with, this was what it's all about. It's about knowing when to change your stakes.
Exactly.
And being risk weighted, they call it. And Paul O'Connor, if you're out there, used to be an economist at Sun Lions when I first started, and he was big on this, and the way he advised the guys, he was really market savvy, and he was, he liked to have a little gamble as well. And everything within both of those spheres was all about being risk weighted properly. And you really make the gains when you stake big, when everything's in your favor. And you're alluding to this. It's powerful. It takes a long time to get to that stage.
Yeah.
You're so, how old are you again?
25.
25. I mean, you're talking things 10, 20 years it normally takes people to get to that kind of differentiation. It's really good, man.
Yeah, I mean, it comes with like a lot of thinking, I studied also like psychology and philosophy. I read also a lot of books. I talk with like high degree people about
in fact,
stuff.
Can you go into that? I'm interested in what you've read to get to this stage.
So basically, before the whole journey before I started trading. I was already like reading a lot of psychology books, and I watched like a lot of philosophers and like as I said, like high degree psychologists, because we shouldn't forget, we live in the era, we live in a time. If you don't make it, you seriously have mental problems, because we have everything we want to. You can have access to every knowledge on every corner of the world.
Yeah.
Yet people don't understand this, or they just live in their small.
But they want to be told. They want want it handed on a plate.
Exactly. But when you understand, you can get every knowledge from everyone from the world. I mean, back then, let's say you live in, for example, Brazil. You couldn't ever learn something from Einstein. But now you just can Google it, and you can read and learn everything he ever put out to this world.
Yep.
And the same thing you can implement to, let's say, human psychology, trading psychology, economics, everything. And so basically I stacked up my psychology in early years. Still, as I said, I lost the first year of trading. But because
that's all training.
It was a new world, a new business. I didn't know. I was thinking I can outsmart the system from the first day, and then I saw no, it is impossible. It's
slap you
impossible.
across the face. Yeah.
But then after a specific point, after specific mistakes and pain, either you learn it and adapt, or you will never learn it, and you will walk in a circle, and you will just get broke and destroy your whole life. I mean, we see still people who destroy like their own life, like let's say with trading or with other business, because they get arrogant about their skill cap, and then the big fall comes. But I learned to always stay humble and always to stay aware of yourself, because you are trading, you are taking action. So basically, you are responsible to your own way of thinking.
So have you got yourself to that stage where losses and wins don't make you react in different ways? You know that you've got a system.
Yeah, back then it was horrible. You were like when you lost an account, you was, oh my god, why did I do it? But now it's like I can lose 5 accounts. I'm still cool, because first of all, the inventory is big. Second of all, I know myself, because you are growing up with your own self. Like, you're spending the most time in your life with yourself. So it is the first, or it should be the biggest priority to have like here a mansion, you know. Most people want to live in a mansion, but they are here in a small, broken, destroyed house. But I'm saying the opposite. Build your mind like if you're living in the biggest mansion, a 10 multi-million mansion, and then go to this real life and do your thing. And I'm doing it so like this.
Big, solid foundation.
Yeah,
and be strong.
I know my mental foundation is strong. And I am really confident, even though when things don't work like I expect them to do, it's all cool, because at the end, we're still humans. We need to think sometimes also spiritually, you know. We're all like growing. We're on this earth to learn. And without, as I said, mistakes you can't learn. So it's all good. There's no good or bad.
Yeah, so I was just to say, and for people that are listening to this and thinking, wow, are you still making mistakes?
For sure, every day.
And when you have these risky accounts, presumably you're still burning some of those? You still lose?
Yeah.
But it's all part of that process, and you rebuild that side of the portfolio, and you've still got this one chugging along.
It's like
strong. It does sound really strong.
It's like a fight now. Trading is like boxing, you know. You will get punches for sure, but the most important thing is, first of all, can you take them?
Yeah.
And then can you deliver punches, you know?
It's the old Mike Tyson, isn't it? Yeah. Everyone's got a plan until they get smacked in the face. And you've walked into some, and you've got back up.
And that's the way, you know. So therefore, I think psychology is the biggest component. It's the biggest part in trading, because you are taking actions. How? With your fingers. But your fingers are connected with your mind. Yeah. So basically, it's you. You are just literally bringing out what's inside your mind. Like, we are seeing a 2-dimensional chart. It's going up or down. But you are the one who's reading them and
implementing it.
Yeah, implementing it, basically.
I mean, this is really, really interesting. I love the whole fact that you own the psychology and you own the risk weight. There's so much powerful stuff here that is way beyond your years. It's brilliant. I mean, you're guru status, sir. You're doing really well.
Yeah.
So how did you get involved with Alpha Capital? What attracted you to?
To be honest, I don't even know how, but it is as I said, like with the flow state. Now, when you're going just with the flow with life in general, like good things will come to you when you do good. And somehow, I don't even know when or how, but I met Alex.
Yeah.
Shout out to Alex. And
Once you've met him, you can't get away from him. We all know that.
he became a big part, a big part of my journey because, he's like one of the few people like I really respect a lot. I see like he's putting also a lot of energy, a lot of effort, and
a lot of serious things from him as well.
Things build up.
Yeah, there's a lot of spirituality there. He's been through his own, journey up and down, and he gets that across to everyone. It's about looking after yourself, and you give yourself that opportunity. And this is definitely what you've done. You've literally looked at your strengths and built it up, haven't you? And totally owned it. I mean, hats off. It's incredible.
Literally.
So, is there anything else that you've done a lot of interviews over the years? Have you ever felt there's something you want to get across that no one's ever asked you?
Not sure, but I can tell some really important part. I mean, we talked about it. Like I said, I am on a 1 month trading break.
Yep.
Yeah, and a lot of people are asking me like, why are you on the break? I mean, you're earning money, right? Why do you want to stop?
And you're someone that's already demonstrated that you're earning it from up here. You're earning it down there. Why on earth would you take a break?
And I looked back on my whole life, like, or let's say the last 2 years, 3 years of trading and general life, and I was always pushing nonstop. I mean, there was not 1 week I stopped trading. Like, even though when you get like successful or you're growing your business, at the same time, trading is like still, it's a different business. Like you can also like approach it like a game, or let's say maybe like a casino for some people. For some people who lose everything and destroy their lives. So it is getting also addicting. And I like trading. I love trading, but I got addicted to it. Every day looking at the charts in the morning and mid-time. And
as it showed you in 22, and it's a wrong trend, that can be painful, can't it? You sometimes step back and reevaluate.
And that was a time. Now, first time in my whole life, I stepped back from trading. And it is so good because it gives me peace of mind. I don't even look at the charts. That is the thing.
When did this start?
I'm not only trading. After my payout from Alpha, I stopped. I had like, it was the first week of February. I got a payout of 14K or 13K. And then I was okay. But now let's make a break. Let's just chill out. I mean, I did so much. When I look back, I'm like, wow, like I have 40,000 subscribers on Twitter, 40,000 people.
Yep.
Here, 15,000 on the Twitter and on TikTok. And I'm like, okay, I did a lot, but I don't see it because I'm always like pushing and then growing. And I don't have time to look back and just appreciate what I have done because I get many messages daily, like,
just keeping on top of that.
And they're always saying like, yo, bro, thank you very much for this. And because of your podcast, I got like funded and made 10K pairs. I have like literally hundreds of messages, but I never saw it or I never appreciated it. For me, it was like, normal. But now I'm seeing like, wow, I did something. I changed a few lives for sure.
Yeah.
And there are people like they say, hey, I want to pay the flight. I want to meet you. I want to thank you for all the things you did. And I was like, what did I do? But then when I look back now, I'm like, wow, I did so many videos, so many posts and tweets and everything.
Are you scared that by stepping off you might lose your focus, or is it more that you've got a strong foundation? And
Good question.
You're gonna do out a few of those rooms in the mansion.
There was the first fear I had like after 4 to 5 days, but then I was like, why? I mean,
if it was working,
it is so deep inside your mind. So it's just a fear from your brain because your brain also
you've lost that adrenaline rush for a couple of days,
and there's a part of your brain that only wants to survive, and then you get like the feeling of anxiety and fear. But because I know this and I learned this like back then, I know that's just a wrong thought. Ignore it. And now I am on 1 month. I mean, it is hard.
When are you coming back?
Probably. I'm moving out
Alex
now.
needs you to lose a few of those accounts. Come on.
I'm moving out now. I have like a few things to do. But then end of April, May, you will see me blow up again. But because then I completely reset. Like also not only a mind reset, but also real life reality reset because I'm moving out to a different country.
Where are you going?
Turkey.
Right.
And yeah, like different circle, own apartment, and then things will get really serious because I'm feeling right now I have the fullest energy I have like from the past few months because every day looking at the charts is not healthy for me at
Has
least.
Erdogan been in touch? Well, he needs someone like you. Get that economy under control. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
So yeah, that's like, I mean, we should love the journey. That's important. People, or let's say all the people who start or who are still unprofitable, they like try to get to that goal as fast as possible. But for me, or what I learned like through the 2 years, love the journey, and that's why back to the start of this conversation. That's why I never give up because I knew it's all just a process. Even though when you lose all your accounts or all your money, when you just zoom out from the movie,
Yeah.
you know you're just at the beginning of the movie. The movie still keeps on. You still have 2 hours of the movie, and that's the thing that keeps me motivating and keep going.
Yeah, so I think that's really important, and you are totally nailing that journey. And how long did it take you to get to that stage where you felt confident?
1 year. After 1 year, after the rock
So
bottom.
I mean, look at how controlled and how brilliant your setup is, and it still took you a year. That shows you it's all about keeping the faith, doing it properly, isn't it?
Exactly. Like after 1 year, after the rock bottom, after 2022, October, December.
But a great education
Like
from
where I
that.
had 0 and I lost everything. I got January, my biggest payout. It was like 17K. And I was like, oh my God, I did it. And then I kept
What
going.
turned that around then? Was it like catching the turn in the market, was it? Or
Yeah. And then February, and again 14K. March, again 14K. And then I was like, I never in my life had so much money. And then I was okay, you did it right, because on the rock bottom phase, I read books and I worked a lot on my psychology because I was really down bad, really, really down. It was the worst time of my life.
yeah, so you don't give up. You double down.
Yeah,
and
I
do
doubled
even
down
more.
and I was
yeah.
like, no, I need to learn. I need to find my mistakes.
Yeah.
And yeah, here I am now. Since January 2023 until today, winning streak. People don't believe it still. Now they say, no, gambling, Grecko's gambling. And I'm like, bro, how can you call me a gambler when I have proven 12 months plus this 2 months from this year, 14 months win streak?
Yeah.
How it is impossible to call this gambling, but there's still people
I know.
who try to
But,
say this.
but people want to be negative. And this is a problem, isn't it? If you start out with a negative mindset, you're going to end up with negative results, aren't you?
I mean, people need to understand there are multiple different ways to trade, and that is the beautiful thing about trading. Like, you can pick 1,000 different people, and they can have 1,000 different trading approaches.
Yeah, and you've got 10 of them. Absolutely. No, it's proper. I do love this whole portfolio approach and the education thing. It's brilliant. So, what does a day look like for you when you are trading?
Oh, basically, that is a critical question because my sleep cycle, my sleep rhythm is completely destroyed because of 2022. As I said, I learned every night, like until 3 to 5 a.m. I'm still awake until 4 to 5 a.m. every day.
You must get the sleep.
Yeah, so I'm not waking up to London session or whatever. I'm just waking up when I feel to. I know I don't have like what's it called, a clock which wakes me up. I just wake up naturally when I wake up, like maybe 10 a.m., maybe 12 a.m. And then I don't have fixed times to trade. That's also like maybe a different approach for me.
A lot of people like to have a particular
I just look at the charts. When I automatically spot setups. I don't need to think, I just look at the charts and either I see how the chart can move for the let's say the next few hours, or I don't. And when I don't care. I just live my day. I do my sports, meeting with friends and family.
So even if you've got, as you've suggested, you've got about 10 strategies, are there days when you literally do nothing? Or does one of those always flag up an opportunity?
I think the first half year of 2023, I was trading every day, like literally non-stop. People say that can't be possible. How can you find setups every day? And I'm like, bro, when you're trading every day, when you're watching the charts in a smaller time frame, and you're used to it, you will spot literally every day a setup, but for sure not the A+ setup, maybe a B or C.
And you're mainly scalping, did you say?
Yeah, mainly scalping, but I saw like back then in my statistics, my average trade goes 50 minutes.
50,
I
50.
didn't expect that, but it's 50. Like it's okay.
That's a
like,
proper surprise to you, surely.
Yeah.
You're almost a swing trader.
kind of.
And have you, as well as your own feeling of this? Have you ever used any of the tools, the things like Alpha Capital and support? Have you ever gone through your account? Did you need to when you were struggling, or did you do it all yourself?
I did. I think I went the hardest way you can went. Like after 2022, I stopped watching videos because it was on my brainstorming and reflecting. I was like, hey, I watched so many videos, yet I'm unprofitable. That means
So-
it is not the videos or the tools that I miss.
It's you.
It's
Yeah.
me. It's
Yeah.
literally just me. And so therefore, I use nothing. And even on my trading, even on my charts, I use no indicators, nothing. I
Well,
don't
even now?
Yeah. I don't draw 50 lines or 50 boxes. I just literally just watch the charts and then implement my trade. That's like the most minimalistic thing you can do.
Certainly helps clear of mind, doesn't it? I mean, everyone's got their own ways, but you're so in control of yours. It's an amazing to hear. It's astounding. So how does the rest of the day go then? You've woken up, you've found a way. Do you still now keep on that crazy rhythm, or do you go and break away from trading completely? Do you do exercise or have any other hobbies?
Sports is really important because trading goes like fully in your mind. I mean, trading is we can even call it 99% psychology. It's like really just your mind. Yeah, for sure, your knowledge, but it's your mind. Like you don't need to talk or do physical work. It's like you need to think in trading. So you need to balance it, and I balance it most of the time with sports. The last few weeks and months, I also started with going with friends to university parties and stuff, because I was never a fan of it, because to destroy your body with all that stuff. But now I'm just doing it slow, but like meeting new people, new circles and new random side quests, and it's exciting, and that keeps also my mind
Keeps
fit
it fresh.
and on a high level.
Yeah.
And therefore I saw it the last 3 months without this break was incredible. It was my trading performance boost up. I can say 50% at minimum. It nearly doubled. And yeah, what's the reason? I think the reason was just a lifestyle change, or just doing new things. I mean, I am socially. I like to be on social people, social connections and
On
networks,
the social
and
media
events.
stuff. Yeah.
And I like to be around people, even around strangers. I like it, and it fools me now. And
We've got a very infectious personality, so I can imagine that you're the centre of the party. Lots of very interesting stuff to speak about. We're done? Is that 40? I mean, we'll cut that bit out, but that's 40 minutes of you absolutely buzzing and flowing.
yeah.
So we're going to wrap it up here,
Yeah.
but we'll just carry on chatting if there's anything that you want to speak about. So, Grecko, that was absolutely fantastic. You've blown me away there. You've blown me away. There must be people out there that, just knocked back. I think this is something you have to watch over and over again. An absolutely brilliant interview. That was great.
I appreciate it.
So we'll just do a little bit more chat, and then.
And then
So, you happy with that? How does that compare with interviews you've done with other people?
that's good. It gets deeper.
Yeah, I think absolutely brilliant. You really loved that. You could see yourself just peeling out all the things that you've done. I can't say enough how you've blown me away with how you've got that set up. And you're sat there listening to it, and you're on the edge of getting involved in all this. I mean, that's probably one of the most powerful ones we've done, isn't it?
You can sense the passion in your voice when you're speaking about it. It wasn't just like you were saying it.
Because some of them, that they've come and they want. There's definitely you own yourself, and it's all there.
Big vision. No,
Big vision. You've only been doing. What blows me away. He's only been doing this for such a short time, to absolutely own things that literally are life and death of a trader and an investor. So no, don't let anything blow that up. And I know you're in control, but I suppose the danger for you is you get too big on social media. So you've got a community of 50,000 people.
Yeah. When you count everything, it's 80,000 people.
Yeah, I mean, how do you manage that? Do you have anyone helping you, working alongside you? Or?
And to be honest, you stop seeing things, because when I let's say when I open my Instagram, let's say when I'm on a university party or whatever, and people looking at my phone, And they also like, wow, what the fuck? Why do so many people follow you? Not the followers, the following feed, like where you see like what happened new when someone
You get
likes.
the big list.
Yeah, it's always full, but somehow I don't see it anymore because it gets usually now, and the message boxes are full, but I don't see it. That's why I say like with the tunnel vision. Now I need to stop and just see what I have
Just soak
built.
it all up.
Yeah,
Because that might actually even open up other avenues for
because
you.
I need time for it. No, it is not something usual. That 500 people like messaging you. It's like they want something or they want to connect, but I never saw it. But now the break is good because it gives also clarity of mind, clarity of way of thinking.
It can only help, can't it? I mean, because I'd imagine with the way you've been successful and the way it's gone, there'll be a lot of positivity in there as well for you to
Exactly.
feed off.
It's insane.
But and I presume are you helping people trade within that as well?
I have like a German mentoring group. I wanted to do it on English, but there are like a lot of scammers out there now. Like, and as I said, peace of mind is important, and I don't get it when
no one's going to scam
English.
you in German because you don't know what the sentence means until the last verb.
Exactly. And in German, Germany is like, I don't know, it's like a small community. You still know who is where, and people don't think about scamming stuff and copying all of your teachings and reselling them. I did it one time on English, and it literally
Just
someone
appeared
created a
everywhere.
group with my name, and then I was like, bro, what is this? I don't have time now to
chase after
yeah,
it,
to chase after, to waste my time and my energy with it. So basically I'm just doing German, and I can speak German better. It's still like English. I never learned talking English. It's like all from the online world now, from videos and games and stuff.
Really?
Yeah. So because on English, on
I
English,
think it's just some kind of special neural network in there because that was very eloquent the way you described it. Like
Really?
that's pretty good.
yeah, and that's the way. Because now on English, on German, I can also like teach things a little bit better now with more. I don't know the English word. Metaphor.
Metaphor.
Yeah, now in German I can like bring a lot of metaphors and people understand what I'm teaching, but here it's like a little bit different. I mean, I can still do it, but not perfect or not well, and then I don't like it.
Well, English is better for funnies.
Yeah.
The Germans don't like the jokes. No, very good. I absolutely loved it. That was one of my favourite interviews. Absolutely brilliant.
I appreciate it, really.
I thought it was great.